Ready to head out to the field this morning with our Disker and the MX285. We checked the tire pressure on that one tire that was leaking yesterday evening. There's still 40 PSI in it somehow. Kind of makes you doubt the tire and if what you were seeing is true or not when you saw that it was bubbling like that. But anyway, pressure's still in the tire, so we're good to head out to the field. Break up some grass. Just on the road to the field, and I noticed our pin is kind of walking up on us. I figured I didn't need to put a smaller pin underneath here because it was so long, but it's literally walking up on us, which is so sketchy. So I might phone back to the yard and see if someone can bring me a pin like this. There is a special pin that goes in this hammer strap here that'll prevent it from even going up at all. I don't think we have that for this tractor anymore. We do on the Versatile. I assume it's getting used right now on the rollers, so we'll just have to put a big fat pin right here, and I can see it's crammed full of manure, the pinhole, so we'll see. Got a pin in there now. So we've done 2 passes up and down. I just want to quickly check out the Disker, make sure everything's good. Don't want to just sit down in the tractor, hammer this entire piece out, and then spot something that's wrong. Make sure all the discs are still in line. It's looking good though. Sweet, this is the job it's doing. It's of course not the fanciest piece of tillage equipment, but it is breaking it up, so we'll probably have to hit it at least 2 times. Once one way, then again a different way. But it's looking good. You can see the manure that we spread on it already. So we're all done disking. Gonna get that disc folded up, parked back in the yard, and then we're gonna grab the harrow and harrow this piece quickly. But we've went over every single square foot of this piece at least 3 times, and then where it needed it, I think some pieces I did 5 or 6 times. In those lower spots the grass was a lot thicker. Took a few more passes to break that stubble up. Smells absolutely phenomenal out here right now. That fresh spring soil smell, you can't beat it. There is still some chunks of sud. Obviously that's going to be really difficult to fully get rid of, but it is looking pretty good, I'd say. Pretty much got it all turned around, and I think coming over this with the harrow is going to smooth it out even more. Still pretty rough, but huge improvement. Still took me, I think, 4 hours total, maybe 4.5. So I think before I can grab the harrow though, I need to put a tire on it. So nothing is just ready to grab in the spring. You always got to get it ready to go. Back to the yard. We're gonna drive right past that harrow on the way back. It's just sitting out in a random field. This is the Harrow. It's out in a field, and the reason for that is because Dad was driving it in transport mode last year, and there's a wheel on top here. The tire blew and he didn't notice it right away, so completely wrecked the rim, destroyed the tire. So we had to get a new one of those, and it was late fall, so we just left it here. This is on some fall rye. So we got ourselves a brand new rim. Got that from Wheatland Tractor, and then this was a used tire, I believe, off of our Borgo drill. So not too bad. Gotta get that on first. Shouldn't be too difficult. Now the moment of truth, did I bring the right socket size? Thought it was 3/4. I brought 4 more along. Now it's looking like 7/8. What's this guy? 7/8. Golden. Next order of business, you got 3 tires that are flat on this thing. That one. And then these 2, which is kind of weird. Those 2 tires and the one on the end there were flat. This one just straight up blew up. So all 4 tires on this side are buggered and all 4 on that side are good. So we gotta pump up 3 tires in the field. We're gonna use our gas powered air compressor, which is up there on the mezzanine. So we're gonna have to use our manual forklift to pull it out of there. See if we can get this thing started. Make sure that's on. I think we will need a choke. All right, so let's see if we can get her going. Well, that's a problem. It's already finished putting air in the other 2 tires there, and this thing's already flat. So I'm gonna try and punch a plug in there, which is kind of a temporary fix. You know those same thing you'll carry in a car, or you'll be able to buy at a gas station. You just poke through it, put a punch in, and hopefully that will hold air long enough for me to finish this job anyway. And then we can take it off when we're at the farm. Would be nice.
You sure it's that?
We can put some air in it.
It's pretty big. Throw some plastic in the environment. It looks really good for farmers.
We will be picking that up.
Not much in there anymore. You're supposed to poke it in there. That's too far, I guess.
Oh, such... Oh, that sucks. I'll try another one.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just fill the inside of the tire with these things and it'll be good.
I don't think it'll fill it. I don't want to poke it right away through again. You want to twist it. I'll hopefully pull it out. And hopefully this should be good.
Just taking a bit of a break from hooking up to the harrow. I went out to one of our fall rye fields. My sister Miriam, she's in the Versatile right now, and she's rolling the field with our Neline land roller. The reason why we are rolling our fall rye is just in case we have another drought this year and we end up needing to chop it all. So we don't want to send any rocks or any metal through the chopper. It's absolutely devastating to that JF stall to send anything like that through it. I've showed you guys before, it just wrecks it. So anything that we could potentially chop, no matter the amount of rain we get, we always roll it. So we're just prepared for the worst case scenario. But on the other hand as well, even if we do end up combining most of this stuff, we're probably going to shave it off the ground because we want to get the most amount of straw. So that's kind of just something pertaining to the dairy. Of course, we also roll our peas. You got to shave that off the ground as well when you're combining. It's just something you got to do to protect your equipment. Anyway, we'll get the drone up in the air. This specific field that Miriam is rolling in right now is the one that we cleared the road allowance in. And right where those two vehicles are, straight east, is where the road allowance was. You can hardly tell anymore. So that was a success. Just one 320 acre field. It is lighter, sandier soil, but we've put a lot of manure down on it to try and bring up the quality of that soil. Looks pretty dark there. Quite a bit of moisture here as well, which is just awesome to see. This is the last pile of trees from that road allowance. Been trying to burn it. I think there is a restriction on it though. You're not allowed to have controlled burns right now. So we're just gonna have to wait until we get a ton of rain this summer. I know it's coming. It's coming. We're ready to hook up to the harrow. Just gotta figure out a way to keep this hitch lower. Yeah, so even if I stand on it, it doesn't even bring it halfway down. So we're gonna have to use a jack here. I see there's already one out, so that's perfect. And of course, before we do any work with it, hit it with some grease. It's the never-ending story of servicing equipment. Got it all greased up, ready to get out of here. It's pretty crazy. A guy can just be working in a t-shirt, sweating. There's a nice pile of snow right there. Oh, it feels good. Saskatchewan. Okay, we've made it out to the field that we disked this morning, and we're gonna harrow it up. Just gonna do a quick walk around. We always want to make sure that those harrow baskets are not tangled together. Make sure that these rollers are all unfolded properly. Everything is looking good though. Beauty, ready to rock and roll. And that's another job done. Actually smoothed out really good. Dad wanted me to put this on a field, but he just came and told me that field is super wet right now. And it's gonna wreck it if we drive on there with any equipment. So we'll find out what he wants, where he wants this thing parked. The plug worked good. This is the tire we plugged up and it stayed round. I don't hear any hissing right now, so that was a success. Right on. I guess we can drop this off wherever we end up putting it, and then we can hook the MX285 back up to the liquid manure tanker, because that is the next job it's going to be doing. Not really sure which tractor is going to go on the pump. As soon as that Versatile is done rolling, it's going to go on the sprayer, so we might end up running one of the old case tractors on the pump. Wouldn't be too stoked about that, but as long as we can get the job done. Back at the farm now. I just want to show you guys one quick thing before the video ends. We have been getting rid of this tree line here. There's a bunch of poplar trees that Feder and Maxime have been cutting down, chopping them up into blocks. And the reason we're doing this, just open up the yard a little bit, and we maybe will build Miriam's cheese building right there. It's still a maybe. I'm not going to say we're going to go and do it. We're still in the process of doing paperwork, so you never know what can happen. It's still kind of in the hands of other people at this moment in time, so you got to get approved, you know? So that's cool. I know what people, there's probably someone in the comments already, how dare you cut down trees? I would ask that person how many trees they've planted in their life. You guys have probably seen in the drone videos of this farm quite a few trees, including a 10-acre tree field. My parents planted all of those trees except for one tree line around the house. That big row of poplars and I think one row of carriganas. Everything else my parents planted. They've planted rows in the fields, so to the tune of thousands for sure, and put all the time and the effort. Land is not cheap, so they've donated tens of thousands of dollars worth of land to trees. For anyone to comment that we shouldn't be cutting down trees, that is absolutely outrageous. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.